New York City glittered outside the glass walls of Caldwell Tower, but on the 47th floor, the light felt cruel. Ethan Caldwell stood motionless, hands braced against his desk, staring at the numbers on his laptop screen as if they might rearrange themselves out of pity. They didn't. The red arrows still pointed down. The balance still read suffer dollar or suffer cent. Just yesterday morning, he had been a billionaire. Now, at रात के 2:06, he was a man trapped inside the wreckage of his own habits. The collapse had been sudden, but not accidental. A rushed acquisition, a late-night conference call, a stack of documents slid across his desk by an assistant who trusted the system as much as he did. Ethan had signed where the yellow tabs told him to sign, exactly as he had done thousands of times before. No reading, no questions, muscle memory. That habit had made him powerful, fast, efficient, and tonight, it had destroyed him. His phone vibrated again. Lawyers, board members, a journalist from Bloomberg. Ethan turned the phone face down. For the first time since founding Caldwell Industries 28 years ago, he had no instructions to give, no orders to bark, no crisis to dominate with confidence. The silence in the office pressed down on him. The city below kept moving, cars flowing like veins of light, people laughing somewhere far away. Ethan felt invisible to it all. Replaceable, forgotten. A soft squeak broke the quiet. The office door opened slowly. "Sorry, sir," a cautious voice said. "Didn't realize anyone was still working." Ethan turned. A man in a navy janitor's uniform stood just inside the doorway, pushing a cleaning cart. Mid-50s, graying hair, calm eyes. Ethan had seen him 100 times and never really looked. "It's fine," Ethan muttered. "Do your job." The man nodded and moved quietly, emptying bins, wiping surfaces with careful, practiced motions. There was no rush in him, just repetition. Consistency. The kind of work done the same way every night, whether anyone noticed or not. Ethan let out a hollow laugh. "Funny, isn't it?" he said suddenly. "You clean offices for a living. I used to own the building. Now neither of us knows what tomorrow looks like." The janitor paused, considering his words. "Tomorrow always looks the same at first," the man said gently. "It's our habits that decide what it becomes." Ethan frowned. "You're some kind of philosopher." The man smiled faintly. "No, sir, just old enough to know patterns." He continued working. When he reached the trash bin beside Ethan's desk, he lifted the liner, and stopped. His brow furrowed. He reached inside, slowly, and pulled out a thin folder. Ethan didn't notice. He was staring out the window again, jaw clenched, replaying the moment he tossed that folder aside without a glance. The janitor turned back toward him. "Sir," he said carefully, holding the folder with both hands. "I think you forgot something." Ethan looked up, irritation flashing across his face. "That's trash," he snapped. The janitor didn't move. "No," he said quietly. "It isn't." And in that still moment, with the city humming outside and his empire in ruins, Ethan Caldwell felt, without yet understanding why, that the worst night of his life might not be finished with him. Ethan Caldwell took the folder from the janitor's hands with a sharp, impatient motion, then froze. The logo on the cover hit him like a punch to the chest. Caldwell Industries Contingency Guarantee Addendum. His breath caught. Slowly, as if afraid the paper might vanish, he flipped it open. His eyes raced down the page, then back up again. His heart began to pound so loudly he was sure the man standing in front of him could hear it. "This," Ethan whispered. "This can't be here." But it was. The clause was unmistakable. The counter guarantee. The legal escape hatch his attorneys had drafted weeks ago and begged him to review personally. The one document that could reverse the catastrophic transfer of liability that had wiped out his fortune overnight. Ethan staggered back into his chair. "I threw this away," he said hoarsely. "I remember it. I didn't even open it." The janitor nodded, calm as ever. "Yes, sir. You dropped it in the bin about an hour ago." Ethan looked up sharply. "Then why isn't it gone?" The man hesitated, then said, "Because I have a habit." Ethan stared at him. "I never throw away legal documents without checking the first page," the janitor continued. "Did that once, years ago. Cost someone everything. I promised myself it wouldn't happen again." Ethan's throat tightened. "You read legal documents?" The janitor smiled, almost embarrassed. "I used to, sir. Paralegal, corporate litigation. Before my wife got sick. Before life changed." The room went silent. Outside, the city clock struck subah ke 3 baje. Ethan suddenly stood, grabbed his phone, and dialed his general counsel on speaker. "Wake up," he said. "I don't care where you are. We have the addendum. It was never filed. The lawyer's voice cracked with disbelief. Ethan, if that's true. It is, Ethan said. Get to the office, now. At सुबह के 9 बजने में 17 मिनट बाकी, Ethan personally submitted the document to the Federal Registry. He watched the confirmation stamp appear on the screen, his knees weak with relief. By noon, the news broke. Market shock, Caldwell umpire stabilizes after last-minute filing. By evening, Ethan sat once again in his office, no longer a ruined man, but not the same one either. He asked for the janitor. The man entered, unsure, hands clasped in front of him. What's your name? Ethan asked. Samuel, he said. Ethan stood and extended his hand. Samuel, you saved my company. Samuel shook his head. No, sir, I just followed a habit. Ethan smiled sadly. That's the problem. I stopped doing that. He offered Samuel a new role, head of compliance and process integrity. A salary that made Samuel blink. Benefits, respect. Samuel agreed, but only after saying one thing. Teach them, he said softly. Teach them that habits don't care how rich you are. Months later, Caldwell Industries removed auto signatures entirely. Ethan personally reviewed contracts again. Slowly, carefully, and every night, before leaving the building, he made sure to thank the cleaning crew, by name.